You will not believe how this one fire ant queen and a few workers in just 100 days exploded and are becoming a painful force to keep safe from escaping. But how did we get here? Well, for that we need to rewind time back to day 1. Oh, day 1. I remember it like it was yesterday. This was my new queen from Ant Antics. A fresh start after my previous fire ant queen had passed away. The new queen arrived with only a handful of workers and very little ant brood. A humble beginning indeed. But here's where the magic happened. With a stroke of luck, I was able to transfer the ant brood from my old fire ant colony, providing a boost to the new arrivals. In just 10 minutes, the workers had discovered their present. It was a heartwarming sight to see as they gathered all of the ant brood and brought it safe home. Within no time, the young fire ant colony had gained a massive head start, setting the stage for the journey ahead. As we fast forward to week 1, the fire ant colony had already grown to around 30 workers. This was thanks to the boost they received on day 1. But here's the even greater news. The fire ant queen had been working tirelessly, laying a new batch of eggs. This is fantastic because it's a sign that she's settled in comfortably. However, despite positive developments, the colony remained quite shy and preferred to stay home within the safety of their nest. Although this seems strange, it's quite common for young colonies to do this. Right now, they're getting stronger and more confident. As we reach week 5, the colony has made remarkable progress, estimated to now be around 70 workers strong. The queen has been incredibly productive to the point where she now sits on top of a layer of ant brood. It's a clear sign of the colony's health and growth. I provided some food for the colony, and what happened next was remarkable. The young fire ant colony is showing great interest in food, with nearly half of the workers eagerly venturing out to forage and eat. It's a true testament to their rapid development and growing appetite. 8 weeks into my journey of keeping fire ants, and the colony had grown to a size where it was no longer practical to feed them in the original Wakushi Venus nest. While this nest had served its purpose, the small feeding area was struggling to keep up with the fire ants' growth. So I attached a larger outwell for them. I decided to test their preferences by offering them a pre-killed roach, and the response was stunning. From just a few fire ants, they quickly swarmed the roach within minutes. But I also provided the colony with an alternative blue sugar snaps. Surprisingly, the colored sugar quickly became the fire ants' favor, and in no time, the barren outworld was filled with fire ants enjoying their feast. Inside the nest, I spotted the first major worker of the colony, easily recognized by its massive head. These tiny powerhouses are crucial for helping the colony process food more efficiently. Looking at the test tube, the floor was hidden beneath a massive carpet of ant brood. By now, it was clear this colony was destined for greatness, with fire ants everywhere and even more to come. By now, the water of the first test tube was running dry. Therefore, the second test tube now functioned as a future expansion, and already now workers were expanding into the new tube. At this point, estimating the worker count was nearly impossible, but likely ranged between 100 to 300 workers. Fast forwarding to week 12, and it became clear that any hope of maintaining this nest had vanished. The colony had not only consumed all the water in the first test tube, but had also now drained the second tube. Their demand for more space was so clear that a portion of the colony had taken up residence in the old feeding area, which had now become a thriving hub of their nest thanks to an additional warmth from a heat cable. The colony was expanding at a rapid pace and had left me heavily aware of their progress, but it was clear the colony needed more space. Suddenly, it was week 14, or better yet, day 100. In just 100 days, this young fire ant colony had evolved from a mere queen and a handful of workers into a bursting community that had now outgrown its current home, meaning it was time to move the colony towards their next destination. Their new home would consist of the all-new Wakushi modular nest range. The nests are designed for a safe and easy connection, and with the fire ant colony rapidly expanding, I made sure to stay one step ahead of the colony by already planning an extra module. Now that everything was prepared, my goal was to move this aggressive fire ant colony in without getting stung. I had a straightforward plan. Disconnect the tubes and place them near the entrance of the new nest. To make sure none of the fire ants were left behind, I would then simply add the remaining parts of the old setup, which all fitted inside the outworld. And after carefully adding each nest component, they were securely inside the new setup. So it was time for the more delicate task of removing everything once again. By now, hundreds of fire ants were scattered everywhere, and for the first time, I got a glimpse of the true size of this remarkable fire ant colony. And as the test tubes once more became visible, I could see the colony was already in motion. The queen had vanished, and the ant brood was in the middle of relocating into the new nest. It was astonishing to witness how in just 20 short minutes, the entire fire ant colony had migrated. Nearly the entire colony had now resided in their new nest, making an important movement in their journey of growth and expansion. 100 days ago, I received a tiny fire ant queen. Now, in this new setup, the reality was breathtaking. The fire ant population had grown beyond my wildest expectations, with workers bursting everywhere. The challenge of maintaining this colony seemed daunting, and with the carpet of babies being bigger than ever before, only time will show how this journey unfolds. And if you want to join me on this adventure, be sure to subscribe for more updates. Together, we'll witness the incredible story of this thriving fire ant colony.